The first problem that he identifies is lack of information. There's many times where we look at a problem and we say, well, look, letting businesses act in certain ways is counterproductive. It's undermining the common good. And yet, we forget how complex the economy is, and we forget ways in which fixing one set of problems might cause other problems. So imagine this scenario. Suppose that we have some, let's say, concerned economist for the common good. And some representatives of concerned economists for the common good come to a factory owner and they say, Mrs. Smith, we've got a problem, right? We've looked carefully, right? And in order to maintain a healthy economy for the region and to make it as flourishing as possible, you've got to raise wages. And she says, really? And they're like, look, it's very complicated. This is oversimplified, but here's our explanation. And she looks at it and says, okay, that makes sense. And she says, okay, well, I've got to raise wages. Okay, but you know, sales just went down a bit. And so in order to be able to pay for wages and still make a profit, I'm going to have to raise the cost on my product. And they say, no, you can't do that, right? That would depress the local economy in other ways that would have ripple effects. It would be really bad. You can't do that. And she says, okay, I can't raise my prices. Right, well, I'm going to have to cut quality. And they're like, no, that wouldn't work either. That would lead to other problems, people going to elsewhere for their goods, the goods wearing out more easily. That would lead to other problems. You can't cut quality. And she says, so what I'm going to do? And they say, well, you're just going to have to take a sacrifice in your profits. And she says, but I'm in a competitive market. My profits are as low as I can really go and still afford to keep running. The cost of materials just went up, right? And I have to do something in order to compensate for that. And they say, no problem. We've got that covered. We're going to the people who supply your materials, and we're going to say the same thing to them. Well, that sounds good, except I think you can see the problem. Right? They're going to get the exact same answer from those suppliers. Right? And then they're going to have to go to their suppliers, or the people that directly produce the raw materials. Right? And then they may have to go to their customers to get them to sort of pay more, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And pretty soon, you're trying to plan out the whole economy again. Right? So the basic idea is that all of the transactions within an economy are part of this incredibly complicated network that's too complicated for any person to really understand. Right? So we're rarely in a position to accurately assess which kinds of regulation are going to produce the best effects.